The
I
Bills
just want
are.
to tweet out the link too.
Yeah.
Oh, Rollback texted us too. Thanks for having me, boys. Shit was fun. We are live on the stream. Let me start up. Oh shit! All right, audition is going, and camera's going. Oh, this is a tight one.
Love it.
Glad my chair isn't squeaking.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, episode 57, boys.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Dayton, can I just hear the Would You Rather? Let me hear it right this second.
Oh, the poll.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think a cure for cancer? No, you're good. Do you think a cure for cancer will be discovered within the next 20 years? Yes or no? 64% said yes. 36% said no.
Or has it already been discovered?
Right.
Isn't that a legit conspiracy?
Yeah,
Just
it is.
holding it back?
There's a large amount of people that believe that we know the cure to cancer. We just haven't
That's
released
crazy.
it because it's a economic thing.
Wow. It would be wild if there was a cure for cancer.
Brad said that, and I found this crazy coming from Brad since he had cancer.
Yeah.
He said that if they found a cure for cancer, that he doesn't think that people should use it.
Why is that?
Brad's against it.
Yeah, because he thinks that they would save so many lives that it would become like an overcrowding.
Like a
It
population.
could
Yeah.
get messy. But it's just keep building up.
Yeah,
Like
I
Fortnite.
guess. Because we already can't. We're already growing at a rate where we can't. We're not gonna be able to sustain it that much
Dude,
longer.
to sit
And
there on the
honestly, a lot of
computer,
people.
just sit there on the computer and watch those numbers just for babies born per
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
It's a big world.
It sure is.
It's like watching the national debt calculator. Have you ever watched that? That is
That's-
depressing.
It makes me feel horrible.
It's terrible. Or the clock, the national debt clock.
I mean, they
think
run
that's
it.
what they call it.
They run a deficit on purpose, though.
Yeah. It's
They're intentionally doing it.
still,
But
it's a large number.
Mind games.
What did you guys go with?
But I think they'll find a cure to cancer in 20 years. I mean, I think they're already very close.
I think doing stem cell research is big.
That's I don't even know if that's legal says that certain states, or is that the whole
Well,
country where it's
where do stem cells come in as far as cancer? So you get bladder cancer, so you use stem cells to
Maybe replace your
create
bladder.
a new
It's-
bladder?
Who knows? Or send in the right fighter cells that link up with the organ.
But if your body has cancer, is remission getting rid of it 100%, or is that just it's not there? But
when you're
it
in
could come back.
When you're in remission, it's like the size of the cancer is getting smaller.
Smaller, right? But it's still there, right?
Yeah, if you're in
Usually.
remission, then it's still there.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know how stem cells work exactly.
No,
but,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
but it's something that people think is a very realistic answer.
Apparently, a lot of people are saying that the current methods we use, chemotherapy and radiotherapy or what
Radiation.
they're not good. Like it kind of just.
Oh yeah.
They're talking about how important it is now if you have a family history of cancer and things, how diet is like the biggest thing you can do. And if you get on your right nutritions and diet and clean everything up, that's a way better chance of stopping it in the long run.
Well, the reason chemo and radiation is so bad is because the job is to kill the cancer cells, but the only way to do that is to kill everything. So it's killing everything.
Yeah,
The
totally.
cancer cells plus all the
Bad and good cells.
right,
that you need.
right. So it's just you're drained.
No, absolutely.
It'd be rough. It'd be a rough thing to go through.
It would be very rough.
Cancer's
So many
just terrible.
people do.
It affects a lot more people nowadays. I feel like it's just everybody knows somebody either with it or has a
Very
family
true.
member, or
It's intense.
it's tough.
It really is. It's sad.
I went with yes. It's an optimistic view. I'm hoping it's within the next 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah.
It would be interesting. Because it would just change. I don't know. I feel like hopefully we'll advance science enough that we'll just be reversing our aging or something along those lines.
But going back to Brad's point, it's kind of a good point. Just because we're already, like we said, growing at a...
I feel like we got a lot of room on this earth. If push comes to shove.
Push already has came to shove.
No, I agree.
I don't know.
Think about how much land is uninhabited.
Yeah, but...
I mean, if we found a way to, like, live in deserts and shit, I mean, that's a lot of land. If you start putting up hotels in the Sahara Desert, I mean, yeah.
And you're just modernizing all of that? Like, I don't know.
We could figure out how to get housing on water.
Especially when we run into that problem 10 years from now or something. We'll be pretty advanced.
People can live on boats.
But that's just prolonged.
That's true. We have a whole ocean.
I'm just saying, if push
could have
comes
an
to
ocean
shove.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
bring back Atlantis.
I guess.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All we're doing anyways is just pushing it back anyways.
Yeah.
That's our goal is because one day we're gonna come to a point where we just cannot be here anymore. We're gonna run out of resources.
Yeah,
that would push that day back.
That's like it's a science thing. Like all species have like a cap carrying capacity or whatever it's called, where it goes up and then once it gets to a certain level, like the max is just planes. Can't have any more than that.
I was watching some show that was from the future, and they completely eradicated all the living plants and everything purely because they created a fertilizer that made things grow like 30 times as fast as normal, but it was taking up so much of the nutrients that it actually took out the entire infrastructure of all the plants. And so once it did that, it had this great growing sprout, and they fed world hunger and all that, but then everything went dead, and that's how the world ended.
So wait, this was a book you read?
No, it was a show.
Oh, a show.
So who knows?
Who knows how we're gonna go out as a species? Who knows what'll wipe us out?
I have a feeling it's gonna be something epic.
Like a meteor or asteroid, just
something crazy.
I mean, if we're gonna go out, we might as well go out with a bang.
We might as well.
Or someone creates a black hole and just
on that, yeah.
We're just all dead.
Technology.
Yeah.
Someone accidentally opens
a black hole in our planet.
Let's hope not. Jonah, really quick, what were you talking about the other day with Neil deGrasse? The thing that keeps him up at night. You explained it a little bit to me.
Oh.
But I wanted you just to talk a little bit about that really quick.
He was saying how the universe is always expanding, and so we're moving faster and faster away from all these different galaxies and planets and stuff, and that one day we could travel so far that we could no longer see them, and that in the future you could lose a huge chunk of like the galaxy or whatever because it's already so far away that you can't see it, and that we've already missed out on so much because it's gone.
Yeah, what if there was a cure for cancer and this is gone? We're able to.
I don't know how that connects back.
No, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me. Wow. I didn't 100% get that. But
yeah, you'll have to hear it and listen.
Yeah, sorry. Kind of off topic, but
sorry.
Space, wild. Aren't they trying to grab more resources from space, thinking that it's medicine, and trying to? Don't they convert a lot of stuff from space and trying to see if it's?
If we're not, we need to.
If it has some other point.
I have no idea.
I don't know if that was a common. They're always testing everything, and are they testing it for sort of cures or sort of medicine?
I've never heard of that. I'm sure they do.
That'd be a good idea.
Who knows what's out there?
Take some moon rocks, see if there's any minerals or anything they could use to heal.
To heal.
That's kind
of this cod.
A med kit.
This is a med kit from space. What is this? What are your guys' views on prescription drugs?
You're talking like painkillers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, just strictly painkillers?
Painkillers, yeah.
Not like your penicillin, amoxicillin.
I'm talking prescription thugs.
The hard shit. We need to not.
Like the Xanax and
it's just so overprescribed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what starts the problem. Is just you get way too, like when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I got like 40 pills of
hydrocodone.
Were you addicted?
Yeah, it's the hydros, right?
No,
that's what they usually give people.
No, I got something else. I don't know. It was an opiate. But they gave me 40 pills and I got my wisdom teeth out. Like, that's so obnoxious.
That's
I don't need that much. And so people take it for the pain and then they get high off of it and they like it. And so they pop a couple more than they should, and all of a sudden their bottle runs out and they get hooked. Mm-hmm. And that's where the problem starts. I think it's just over-prescribed. I don't think that... I mean, I think we need to look at different drugs to, do the same thing, but I don't...
And that leads to heroin, right? That leads to...
Yeah. I think it's very similar.
Yeah, right.
It's
because
the
feel and the type is, yeah.
But, so they moved to heroin because it's easier to get?
Or
Cheaper.
That's...
And easier to get, probably, but it's a lot cheaper.
They do urgent care runs to try and get these prescriptions.
Yeah, there's people that come into Pine Knob all the time and try to get stuff. People that go into the ER it's more so the ER. I see people every single day who are trying to get pills.
Really? What, they'll come in there, complain of pain somewhere, and they want
back
pills?
Pain. Back pain.
My back's killing me.
My back's killing me. This, that. I did this. It's all bullshit. They're in there every
week.
Right. Like, they know.
They know everybody's name that comes in, basically ask for it all the time.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I don't know. I was talking to my dad about it. I'm going to fuck it up, so I'm not even going to say it. But I think there's a limit on how much certain doctors can give. Like, when you're in the ER, you can only prescribe enough for like a few days. Mm-hmm. But if you're a family doc, you can prescribe probably like a month's worth.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the most interesting thing you've seen your trips in and out?
You've been at Hurley quite a bit, and then also you've been in Africa.
Yeah,
seen a lot of shit.
What's something that sticks out to you as a moment in Hurley or Pigeon, or I don't know where you've been with your dad, but your dad has a lot of locations he likes to grind.
No, I've never been to Pigeon. I've just been in Flint, and then when I went to Ghana.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Probably in Ghana, they had to do this procedure on this woman, so we went into this side room, and so she had a bunch of fluid that was in her like belly, abdomen area, and it was starting to push up, and it was going to start approaching her lungs. Mm-hmm. So you had to drain it before it starts like collapsing the lungs. So what they do is they take they basically make an incision in between the ribs and then stick a tube between the ribs all the way down into your belly. And so we went into this side room. It's probably 110 degrees in this room. There's no air conditioning.
Oh yeah,
everybody has to wear like these massive masks because it's like infectious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you in a suit or just a
hazmat suit?
Just a mask.
Just a white suit.
Like in Monster Inc.
One of those big yellow ones.
Got 2319.
No, just a mask. And then so it was me, Matt. There was a nurse, a med student, and Rocky, the doc I went with.
Yep.
And this woman stays away. You're conscious for it, and so I was tasked with sitting there and holding her hand through the process, and I sat there and held her hand while they
white knuckling you.
Oh yeah, like
I'm sure.
Squeezing the shit out of my hand.
Wow.
And I'm. Like, I was probably holding her hand for a half hour to 45 minutes.
Jeez.
And they couldn't get the tube in because her ribs were too close together. And she was bleeding, like, not a ton, but bleeding pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave her an inch incision.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And I was just pouring with sweat, trying not to like drip sweat out. I was sitting here like hand extended, trying not to pour sweat on her. Like, I'm just pouring with sweat. And finally,
you had a mask on too, right?
Yeah,
that probably makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah, like you couldn't wipe your brow or
like,
no,
it's just probably coming down.
And finally, I go, Matt, dude, I tapped out. It took probably close to an hour, and they never ended up getting it in, and they had to send her to surgery.
Wow.
But I was sitting there, she was in so much pain, and I was just,
Poor lady.
It was insane.
So what?
That was like one that was like involved.
So were you doing quite a bit of medical stuff in Ghana?
Yeah, stitching people up, fixing gun shop,
Rubbing bellies.
No, not really.
Have you seen gunshot wounds up close? Just raw, open.
Yeah, a bunch. I've seen
From his own gun.
Yeah, I fired it.
My victim.
Jeez. No, at Hurley, I've seen it a bunch. The first time I went to Hurley, we were gonna go into the trauma room for the first time, and it's kind of intimidating. You walk up, and there's these massive sliding doors, and it's this room with like curtains and all this like huge
people screaming
equipment. And it's intimidating. We walked in and shit my pants. And the first person I saw was this woman who had been shot 3 times in the vagina.
Whoa.
Missed all major I
think you've actually
stuff,
told me this.
and basically just through and through, like no real damage.
Whoa.
And then there's another guy in there that was shot in the ankle, and then I was there when they brought in a guy on ambulance, and so they radio in when they're bringing somebody in, like a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear over the radio when they're bringing in a gunshot victim, gunshot to the chest. I'm like, holy shit. I'm about to see some shit. They wheel this guy in. He's sitting up, chatting his ass off, just
Conscious.
Oh, he's all there. Doesn't
fine,
seem to be in any pain. And dude, the bullet was about an inch above his heart.
Oh my god.
Like, it was in his left shoulder. And you couldn't even tell the guy was in any distress. It was like, holy shit, alright, that's not at all what I was expecting.
I'm not staying that calm if I get shot. I hope they put me under for all of it.
Oh,
I'm just
I get
calm my
nervous
life.
when I go into medical procedures. I get really
So you've been under before?
Not completely. When
I went under.
When you went under?
Once.
For what?
Oh, dude. I had to get my stomach scoped because they didn't know what was going on. I was yakking. Everything I ate, I was yakking up for a while. But they put a camera this way through my mouth. Knocked me out for it. I woke up in a different room, and my dad was sitting there just waiting for me to wake up. And I was so thirsty and hungry, but they wouldn't let me have anything. They were like, we have ice cubes, and that's all you can do.
How'd they count you down?
Well, I told them I was going to fight it. I go in there and I'm like, listen, I know what you guys are about to do to me, and I'm going to fight it. I'm telling you right now. You're going to have to do something else. I go, I'm going to try to fight it. And the nurse is just cracking up. She's like, there's no way. Like this is chemistry. You're not going to be able to.
Timmy, throw an extra 100 milliliters.
And so I just kept bragging about how, like, their shit wouldn't touch me. And oh my gosh. They go, all right, count backwards from 10. I think I didn't even get to 8, and I was just boned out.
Jeez.
Woke up, different room.
That's insane.
Had a ton of needles in me, and that was it.
Yeah, apparently my dad said that sometimes he'll put like a cast and everything on these kids after they're knocked out, or for some reason that has to be done. And they'll wake up and they'll go, yeah, you're done. No, I'm not. And he says, look at your arm. And he looks down, he's got the cast on. He's like, what? Because he's in the same spot. He just was, it was a millisecond basically.
Sense of time's way off.
And it's just, people will freak out right in front of him. He said it's the funniest thing.
It is wild.
I've never been put fully under, but I've been like
massive laughing
I've been
gas.
when I got my wisdom teeth out, they gave me it's like a local anesthetic, so you don't go fully under, but like I was asleep for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just passed out.
I was out.
Messed up.
I was out for the whole thing, and you wake up and you're fucked up.
Yeah.
And then when they put the tube in my chest, I was super nervous because they were putting a needle like an inch away from my heart, so I was like shitting my pants.
Shit.
So I go up there, I'm like, hey, like, I'm like super nervous, like, can you guys like whatever? They're like, oh yeah, we got you, don't worry. And so they're like, all right. They gave me this and they're like, all right, you're gonna feel like you've had a few drinks. And so they give it to me, and I don't feel anything. And it's been like 3 minutes, and I'm like, hey, listen, I don't feel anything.
Jonah says,
starting to get
I tolerance of beer.
I'm like it's getting close. Like I'm getting really nervous.
Yeah.
Like,
please help me.
Like yeah. They're like okay.
Get the tranquilizer.
So they gave me more of what they did the first time. 2 minutes goes by, still haven't felt it. I'm like, hey, listen.
I've had that.
Still don't feel anything, and they go,
tripping.
all right. Out.
The third dose got
woke up. Well, because they gave me something else on the third dose.
Oh boy!
And then I woke up and it was over.
Wow.
It scares me. Even though minor procedures they'll put you under sometimes. What if they don't do their job right and you start feeling stuff? You wake up, or
That's what I was gonna ask you guys. Would you rather feel no pain laying there, but you have to watch it, or be asleep during the entire thing but just wake up in dire pain?
Oh, I'd sit there and watch it.
I'd sit there and watch it because I know I'd probably pass out at the sight of whatever's going on.
Your stomach open.
Oh, it'd be just a terrible sight. It'd be scary shit.
Oh, I know. I'd close my eyes.
But I would
Like
rather.
you're inside. You could you could feel it, but it doesn't hurt.
That would be terrible.
You can just feel this stuff moving around.
That would be terrible.
Or you wake up in massive pain.
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
Depends on the procedure.
Yeah, is this a stomach transplant? It's a heart transplant?
Oh dear.
Getting rid of those chain smoking lungs.
Oh.
Do you guys have any interesting medical conditions?
I got tubes in my ears when I was little. That's about it. I mean, I've had a cast on my left hand. I've had a bunch of stitches in my kitchen and stuff.
Yeah, just at the counter.
Yeah.
I've been glued up at your kitchen table multiple times.
Yeah.
That eye.
My eye has busted open.
My dad's finger got glued to his
It shit hurt so bad.
and he yanked and it wouldn't come out.
Oh, boy. What did he
I was
end up
sitting
doing?
there hollering like, ah! Dude, he's sitting there, and no, he's holding my eye with his other finger, and the other one's stuck, so he's like, hold on, D, hold on. And I'm like, oh, fuck, like, dude, it hurts, and he's just
Still tender. You just got
tender.
you just got
dude, it's a
glued.
wide open wound. Yeah, like,
Jeez.
raw, it's just, yeah, meat.
I got home from Ghana, and we were driving back from the airport, and my mom gets a phone call. My grandma tripped and fell at the grocery store and cut her eye. So when I get home, the first sight I see when I get home is my grandma sitting at the counter with her eye busted open, and my dad's giving her stitches.
That would be funny.
It was so funny. Like, I was feeling like shit. I just got home and I just sat there and watched it. It was funny as
Oh,
hell.
that's so great.
And she was numb, so she didn't know that he was stitching her, and she had been stitched up for like 10 minutes, and we were just like, all right, sit still, like, and I just kept going, Grandma, like, stitches hurt like a bitch, like I was like trying to get her like
Freak
scared
her out a little bit. Jesus, give her a heart attack.
Funny.
And it was like 10 minutes. We're like, oh yeah, no, you're done. You've been done.
I love when you tell the story about Stu with the staples and how your dad was like, no, I just want to take a look at it.
My brother cut his head, like cut the back of his head, and my dad like looked at it. He's like, all right, let's get these staples. So he goes back. Doesn't tell my brother. My brother was probably, I don't know, 10 at the time, and goes back in. The kid's brushing his teeth. And my dad just goes, hey, let me see your head one more. Like, let me take another look.
This is Stu brushing his teeth?
Yeah.
You said this kid is brushing
no, I
his
know.
teeth.
This kid's Stu.
Oh,
I
man.
know what I said. He was
All right, you caught me
He's
off
still
guard
a
with
kid.
that. You acted like it was a random stranger. This
This
kid
one-
was just brushing his teeth.
Anyway, so this child was cleansing his teeth. My dad just comes up and goes, hey, just let me look at that one more time. So my brother puts his head down. My dad just pulls it out of his pocket and just
Cause sidearm.
staples him 2 times when Stu's not ready.
Oh.
He's just sitting there.
That's hilarious.
Started freaking.
He tried to get you
Tried
at
to
practice,
do me.
didn't you? Yeah.
No, in the ass.
Oh, in the ass, that's
Oh.
right. Holy shit.
He did staple me in
You
the head
caught
at
him.
practice.
Yeah, with
Oh,
Heaton.
shit.
Yeah.
that day. That was
Oh,
wild.
man.
If you guys could if you had to pick and ditch one limb, so it's your left arm, your left leg, your right leg, what do you ditch? Limb gone.
I'm losing an arm.
It's got to be the left arm.
Probably the left arm.
Really?
Not the right arm.
I don't think if you're saying I gotta lose either one of my
One of those
extremities.
four.
One of your extremities.
One of those four.
yeah, it's gonna be the left arm.
Left arm.
I don't know if I do leg, dude. I don't know if I could.
You
do
can't.
that.
No.
I don't think I could do.
Dude, I
could
think
lose
I
the
might
leg.
lose right leg.
That's
You,
that's
of all
obnoxious
people?
as fuck.
Dude,
Why would you?
Because you're gonna get a prosthetic, right?
I'm gonna get the most badass prosthetic.
I knew where that was.
I mean-
He's always trying to pull some bullshit.
No,
the way
I'm serious,
The way I'm
dude.
interpreting that is
they're really good these days.
Yeah, they cost.
People are winning Olympics in these prosthetics, Jonah.
You better make a fucking ton of money, brethren. If you want to get one of those, I
I'll
think
just-
they're expensive as shit.
I'll just go to the
the right and
child
Philippus-
services and
The right and Philippus right down the road by Greg's. Get your.
they'll just
orthopedic-
construct one for me. I don't know. Or I just rock a wheelchair. I'd be great in a wheelchair. Wheelchair basketball.
When you ask me that, that's kind of how I interpret it as. You're going.
You're
down a
going
dirty
right
wheelchair.
to. You're going
yeah.
right to wheelchair.
You don't really get loophole like that.
Yeah. Always trying to pull some bullshit.
I don't know. Prosthetics are real these days.
Yeah,
There's
They're
arm
real.
prosthetics. If you agree to do research with these people, a lot of times they'll let you keep the prosthetic.
Can I get like an iRobot Will
Yeah.
Smith?
That's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah,
starting
like
to get like
spray
even
the
your
skin all over
extremity.
it.
Give me the microchip in the brain so I can move it in my
Mhm.
brain.
New microchip. Anything else you guys want to add? Before
Really?
no. All right. Well, hey, that was our medicine chat.
Yeah, we spring break is gonna be a little different. We might.
Spring break. Maybe you guys will record and send it to me or something, or we'll have to figure something out. But
Wow. Okay.
that's
yeah.
a thought.
Yeah, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out. But
We'll be posting on Twitter. Keep an
otherwise,
eye
we'll
out.
see you soon.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers. Solid. 11, my bedtime. Perfect to wrap it up then. Oh! Ugh. 26 minutes. That's pretty perfect.
I saw that it was like around that, and I don't know.